Christopher Ward just released their new integrated bracelet sports watch, the 12, after 6 years of research and development. The watch was released to plenty of press coverage and fanfare and is definitely one of the most exciting new releases of this year. But I have a few questions. How does the 12 actually look and perform in real life? Is it worth the $1,200 plus tax price tag? And most importantly, is it really better than the Tissot PRX Powermatic 80? Let's find out. In this video, I'll be comparing the Christopher Ward 12 Glacier Blue with the Tissot PRX Powermatic 80 in Ice Blue. Both watches will be judged on the following categories, namely the case and crown, the design and looks, the movement, the bracelets, the wearability, the brand recognition and heritage, the warranty, and finally, the value for money. At the end, I will also tell you which watch I would choose and why. So without further ado, let's dive in. First up, the case and crown. Both the 12 and the PRX have a roughly 40mm tonneau-shaped case made of stainless steel with a lug-to-lug width of 45mm. Both watches have a water resistance of 100 meters. The PRX has a case that is brushed and mirror polished that looks simple and minimalistic. The shape of the PRX's case is more boxy, with the 12 having a wider face and smaller bezels. The PRX is 11mm thick, while the Christopher Ward is a millimeter thinner at 10mm. The thicker, boxier case makes the PRX wear slightly larger on the wrist. The 12 feels slimmer and more well balanced on my wrist. The PRX has a standard crown with decent winding. There is nothing special here and you will neither be disappointed nor amazed. The Christopher Ward 12 on the other hand shakes things up a little with the double dodecagon shaped case that is sandblasted, brushed and mirror finished. It also has a screw down crown along with crown guards to make the watch feel more secure overall. The crown action on the 12 is significantly better than the PRX's. The crown seems more robust with the right amount of firmness combined with a smooth, confident winding motion. These factors make the 12 the winner in this category. So it's 1-0 to the 12. Next up, the dial design, finishing and looks. The Tissot PRX has a classic round bezel and a raised waffle style dial. The dial is pretty clean with some text. The color on the dial is not Tiffany blue, but just a different, more vibrant shade of blue. There is a small date cutout at the 3 o'clock position in white. Overall, the PRX looks good, simple and clean. On the other hand, the dial on the Christopher Ward is wider and is more intricately designed with raised pyramid style print, which is actually a repeating pattern made from their logo. The hands and the hour markers are wider than the PRX's. Since the dial already looks a little busy, it's good that they didn't include much text here with just the words automatic and Swiss made on the face. I actually like the color match date cutout at the 6 o'clock position and it looks more fluid than the PRX's mismatched color cutout. I really like the look of this dial. I think Christopher Ward had designed a really beautiful watch. The downside of this dial, however, is that it is slightly harder to read at a glance than the PRX. Now, because the hands are so thin, there is not a whole lot of loom on the PRX. So the result is legible, but not astounding. The 12 performs much better thanks to its wider hands and markers, and is much more legible in the dark. Now, looks and preferences are subjective, and you may disagree with my pick, but after handling both watches, I like the design of the 12 more. It just looks more interesting than the PRX. It just seems that there has been more effort put in the design here, which is why I'm giving the 12 the win again in this case. Now let us come to the engines driving these two watches. Both watches have display case backs to let us admire their movements. The Christopher Ward 12 uses the Swiss-made Sellita SW201 automatic caliber. This movement has a frequency of 4 Hz, giving the seconds hand a smoother than average sweep. Christopher Ward do not advertise the accuracy of the movement, but this caliber usually has an accuracy between plus or minus 12 to plus or minus 30 seconds a day. Now this may seem like a huge deviation, but I haven't noticed it in day-to-day use. But the most underwhelming aspect of this Sellita movement is the 38-hour power reserve. I'm surprised Christopher Ward went for this because 38 hours is well below average at this price range. Now the 12 on titanium is powered by a more competent COSC certified Celita SW301 movement with a power reserve of 56 hours. But that watch costs almost $700 more than the standard steel variant. Tissot's Powermatic 80 movement, on the other hand, has a class-leading power reserve of 80 hours. This gives the watch an engine that runs for over 3 days after a full wind. And if you use multiple watches, this feature is incredibly useful. Now, this is also a third-party movement, with Tissot actually using a modified ETA C07 movement for its caliber. Like Christopher Ward, Tissot does not advertise the accuracy of the movement, but it too runs somewhere between plus or minus 7 to plus or minus 30 seconds a day. In real world use, I've not faced such a wide deviation, with the watch running within 5 seconds on average. This caliber has a standard frequency of 3 Hz or 21,600 vibrations per hour, giving it a less smooth sweep compared to the 12. The movement finishing on both watches is decent and is standard for the watches under $2,000 or $3,000. Personally, I feel like there's nothing fancy here. So overall, the movement on the 12 seems to be its biggest weakness. I don't know why, but it seems like Christopher Ward have really cheaped out here, and this is why the Tissot with its Powermatic 80 gets up and running on the scoreboard. If you're liking this video so far, hit that thumbs. It really helps. Also, subscribe, so when this channel hits 100,000 subscribers, you can brag to your friends that you were one of the first 1,000. Okay, now let's get back to the video with the fourth category, the bracelets. Both watches have lovely bracelets. Both are integrated steel bracelets with vertical brushed finishing. Both bracelets have similar butterfly-style clasps with the brand names etched on them. Both bracelets shimmer beautifully in the light and look stunning. And both watches offer a quick release functionality. So what's different? The Tissot's bracelet is wider and may be more suitable for bigger wrists, while the 12's bracelet is compact, feels more elegant, and might be suitable for slimmer wrists. And although it is well made, comparing the PRX's bracelet to the 12's bracelet just shows the difference in price. The PRX's bracelet shows some gaps, while the 12's is more compact with hardly any gaps between the links. The level of finishing on the 12 is higher, and I just admire how well put together this bracelet is, and this is something you have to experience in real life to really admire. The differences are not significant, and most people would be happy with either bracelet. But the 12's bracelet is just a step above the PRX's, and that's why it's the winner here. Both watches have a similar 40mm tonneau-shaped case with integrated bracelets. Both watches have a roughly 45mm lug-to-lug width, so they wear decently on my 6-inch wrist. The lens distortion does make them appear slightly larger than they do in real life. Now, because of its thicker case and more rectangular design, the Tissot does wear a little bigger. The case shape and wider links also make it feel larger on my small wrist. In comparison, the 12 is slimmer and less boxy, making it wear better. Now, this is subjective again, but I really prefer the feel of the 12 on my wrist. It just looks better and feels more balanced. I would say that the 12 would fit more wrists, and anyone with a 6-inch or larger wrist would be happy with it. The Tissot, on the other hand, would be better suited for wrists 6.25 inches or larger. For this reason, the Christopher Ward 12 gets its fourth win in this comparison. Christopher Ward is a relatively young brand founded in 2004 by Christopher Ward, Mike France, and Peter Ellis in England. Today, Christopher Ward is known for making Swiss watches at a relatively affordable price. But being less than 20 years old, not many people actually know about this brand. Tissot, on the other hand, was founded in Le Locle, Switzerland in 1853 and has a big heritage. Now it is no Omega or Rolex, but it is still one of the oldest Swiss watchmakers in the world. Tissot is known for making well-designed, reliable, and relatively affordable Swiss watches. In fact, over the years, Tissot has been the gateway into the world of Swiss watchmaking for many individuals, including myself. So yes, Tissot is a well-respected brand today and has a much bigger brand recognition and heritage than Christopher Ward. Tissot offers a 2-year warranty on the PRX. Moreover, Tissot is known for making reliable watches, and I don't think many people face problems with them. However, Christopher Ward have a 60/60 policy where they offer a 60-day return as well as a 60-month movement warranty on the 12. This means that the 12 has a vastly superior 5-year warranty, making it a more worry-free experience in my opinion. This gives the 12 its 5th win over the PRX. Our final category is value for money, and this might be the most important category for some people. The Tissot PRX with the steel bracelet starts at $675 US, while the Christopher Ward 12 with the steel bracelet starts at $1225 US plus taxes. All in all, I ended up paying more than $1,400 to import this watch to me in the US. As you have seen, both watches are very well designed and finished. The CW12 does edge out the PRX in many aspects, but the difference is minor in most of the cases. The law of diminishing returns is certainly applicable here. At half the price of the 12, the PRX definitely gives you more bang for your buck, and this is why it is the winner in this category. So there it is. Although the Tissot had some good wins, the Christopher Ward 12 is a clear winner, beating out the Tissot 5-3. If you can look past its underwhelming movement, it is a very well designed and executed watch. The beautiful dial, great wearing experience, and the class-leading bracelet just make this watch an extremely appealing choice for someone looking for an integrated bracelet-style watch. But the 12 costs twice as much as the PRX. So is it twice as good as the Tissot? Definitely not. The Christopher Ward 12 does beat the Tissot in most aspects, but the difference is not significant. The PRX is still a very good watch and probably one of the best at its price. The overall design and finish are above average, and the Powermatic AT movement is just fantastic. So what should you buy? Objectively speaking, the Christopher Ward 12 is the better watch, and I have no doubts about that. If price isn't a consideration for you and you want the best integrated bracelet sports watch under $2,000, then you should definitely go for the Christopher Ward. But if you're looking to save some money and still get a very well-rounded Swiss watch, then go for the PRX. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with my picks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It is invaluable for a small channel like mine. Also, let's go South Korea. I appreciate all the support I'm getting from you guys. Have a good one and see you all very soon.